Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about the object-oriented systems development. First, let us see the classical software development life cycle. This is a waterfall model. The first phase is a problem definition. Next, we go for analysis. Then after analysis, we go into the design phase. After the design phase, we enter into the coding. After coding, we go for testing. Then after testing, maintenance. Once if a software comes into the maintenance phase, once again we have to start from the beginning, problem definition. We are going to see all these phases one by one in detail. Problem definition here. Here we specify the definition, the requirement of a software of that product can be specified, can be defined here. It is a clear statement. It not only helps to develop but also to understand the problem better. For better understanding, we define in form of a statement what is the problem, what is the software going to do, and what is the proposed system. The definition of the statement about the proposed system can be defined here. Analysis, here it covers what are the inputs we are going to give to that system, the various requirements we analyze here. We estimate about a product, how long it will take to develop, and what are the environment we need, how much resources we need. All these things are analyzed. How much manpower is required, what are inputs to be given, from where the input can be received to the system, what are the process it will perform, how many outputs will be developed, and what are the constraints. These are the things are examined here in the analysis phase. Then we go for the design phase. The design may include the data structure, architecture, and algorithms. This algorithm is a detailed design structure. Many pictorial representation. How, that is, here this phase answers the question of how a solution can be generated, and that is represented in form of a picture and in form of algorithms here in the design phase. And the next one is the coding. After design, we go for coding. Here the coding is the translation of a design into the machine readable form. And the next phase is the testing. Once the coding is written, we have to check for the results. We have to get the expected results. The system should behave as expected. That is, in a different set of inputs is to be given, and we have to test the software. And then we go for a maintenance. If any changes is to be made in future or at right time, after seeing the results, if some changes we need in the output, we go for the maintenance. In case of an error, we go for maintenance. In case if you want to extend the feature, we may go for the maintenance. The next one is the object-oriented notation and graph. The various the diagram include the class diagram. First of all, here this class diagram is used to describe the structure and behavior, and also we represent the relationships. The symbol used to represent the class is a rectangle that is divided into three parts. First part of that rectangle specifies the name of the particular class. In the second part, the set of attributes can be given, and in the third part, the member functions can be represented. And some modifiers. We normally have the public, private, and protected visibility modifiers in the C++ programming. For a public visibility, that is, every other classes can access if it is defined, if a attribute or a function is defined as a public. In case of a public, plus hash for protected visibility, and this minus for the private. An example here is given. It is a rectangle. It is divided into three parts. The first part specifies an account name. It is the name of a class, and the next one is followed by the attribute, that is customer name and a balance, and the various process is defined in the remaining section. add funds, that is deposit. By depositing we can add funds into our balance, withdraw, and we can perform the other transaction as a transfer. Amount can be transferred from one account to the another account. These are the operations we can list here in the third part. So this is a symbol for representing the class. The relationships, the object-oriented relationships, or there are two kinds: generalization and association. Generalization can be called as a parent-child relationship, and association is how a student enrolling in a course. So a relation that link between the various entities can be called as an association. Association can further be classified as aggregation and composition. And this slide shows a relationship, that is we can call relationship. The first relationship we are going to discuss is generalization. We can call this as a parent-child relationship. So the symbol here is a hollow triangle. For example, a customer class is derived in a customer may be a regular customer or loyal customer. Normally the customer will have some characteristics in common. So this kind of relationship is a generalization. And the next one is association, that is a relationship between the instance of a classes. Associations normally has two ends, and also multiplicities can be specified here. Navigability, that is unidirectional or bidirectional, can also be represented. In the next slide we will see how the association can be represented. So as I said, we have the two end. Here we have a line with the two end. One end is university, here another one is a person. One university can enroll many students, and one or more employer can employ more teachers. Here the symbol is given at the end of this line: 1 0 double dot 1 asterisk. So here 1 means that only one university, and star is 0 to any positive number. One university can have many students. So this is represented like this. 0 to 1 is 0 to 1 employer. An employer may be a single person, or 0 here, 0 or 1. In such case, in a case of 0 employer, the teacher himself a employer as well as a teacher. An employer can have the many teachers, as many teachers can work under 0 employer or 1 employer. That is here, this is how the association between the two entities can be specified. And also the role is given here as a text. A person is an entity here. The person, a university may have many persons, involve many persons. A person can have a role of a student, and also a person can have a role of a teacher. And the next relationship is a composition. We can say that this is a kind of whole part relationship. This is a whole class, and these are all the part classes. That is, an automobile can have a part engine, can have a transmission tools. So these are all a part of this particular class. So we can say that this is a whole part relationship. This whole part relationship can be called as a composition. This whole class have the responsibility to create and initialize the instances of part class. And the next relationship is aggregation. It is a kind of container-containee relationship. That is, for example, a bag may contain apples and milk, and this is a container. Bag is a container. Apple and milk are contained in that particular bag. So we may say that this is a container-containee relationship. The symbol used to represent the distinguish between the composition and aggregation is, here for composition we have a solid diamond symbol, and here we have a hollow diamond symbol to represent the aggregation relationship. Thank you.